when it comes to car accidents and car collisions, there's multiple forms of coverage that may be available to compensate you. And it's important to know which ones you have on your policy and which ones are available for you to use on other people's policies when they're at fault. The collision policy is the policy you're going to use to cover the damages to your vehicle, whether you're at fault or whether the other person's coverage can't pay for it. Now, oftentimes collision policy will have a deductible, and that's commonly $500 to $1,000. But that is the insurance policy you're going to use to fix your vehicle. Now, I know what you're saying, like, Zach, I'm not at fault. Well, there's other policies as well, too, and that comes into the liability policy. The minimum Nevada liability policy for property damage is $20,000. That is the policy that you would pay, that your policy would pay out to another person if you were at fault for an accident, or you would receive if you were the victim from someone else's negligence in a car accident. But that's just for property damage. The Nevada minimum policy limits for bodily injury and lost wages is $25,000 for one person or $50,000 for multiple people involved in the same accident. And that number is important. Let me explain that. So the minimum being what we say is a 25-50 policy. 25 for a single person, but no more than $50,000 total amongst everybody. So if it's just you, it's $25,000. But if there's 4 people involved in an accident, then no one person can get more than $25,000, but the entire group cannot get more than $50,000 between all the at-fault people. Now that leaves a lot to consider if you're dealing with a personal injury case when there's not a large policy to work with. That's why it's important to consult an experienced attorney such as myself or anyone here at Las Vegas Personal Injury. Now, other policies do exist, and they're less common, but they're just as important. You could have a medical policy, which can cover medical bills covered in a car accident. That's something your attorney should know about too. That way you get full compensation out of that. And then also, you can have an underinsured or uninsured motorist policy, which provides coverage to you if an at-fault driver has such a small policy as a 2550 that we just discussed. Bottom line is there's a lot of policies. They're all on your declarations page, and I'll help go over those policies if you come here to Las Vegas Personal Injury and you need to figure out what type of coverage you have.